Hi there. The Church of Nowhere is a church, that is for sure. So I want to talk a little bit about what a church could actually be. Certainly there are no physical churches for the Church of Nowhere, obviously, as the title suggests. There are no bishops or popes or priests or no clergy, no laity, which is the ordinary people. Everybody is their own priest, I suppose, if you're going to get technical about it all. And there's no set book or liturgy, but the church does promote meditation on an individual level, so that's very important. Something actually positive that the church recommends that you get into various kinds of meditation, whatever really suits your character. You've got to try out quite a few different methods for a long time and then really stick to one which really suits you. And of course, over time you do change, so your method might have to change as you change, which is okay as well. So don't get dogmatic about it. And then, of course, the Church of Nowhere also promotes veganism, eating vegan food and living a vegan lifestyle, and also together with that, the minimal lifestyle, which is basically the minimal that you can get away with in life, living simply so that others can simply live, which is a good slogan I grew up with in the 1980s, I suppose, when all this really started, and I think that's quite a good bit of advice, really. But the thing about it is that, and certainly the church also recommends to some people that are brave enough to go out into the streets and evangelize, which basically means tell people about the good news. Because the Church of Nowhere, it does represent a bit of good news because, even though life is hard and life is brutal and the forces of destruction are everywhere, including within the human spirit or even specifically in the human spirit in particular, you can live a lifestyle where you can look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm okay today, sort of thing, which is basically all a church can really offer. So, to some people who are extroverts, go out and evangelize. It's a great idea to promote the Church of Nowhere actually on the streets, or just to neighbours or friends or at dinner parties and things like that. But the church is a church, so the thing about the church is that people say, well, is it utopian? Does it really want to change the world? And I think if people change themselves, well, obviously, empirically, if enough people changed themselves, then it would become utopian, sort of by default, really. But that's kind of evolution rather than revolution, because revolutions always end in anarchy, and anarchy always ends in tyranny, as history shows us. So evolution rather than revolution, for the most part, except that you're going out and evangelizing. I suppose that could be termed revolutionary or radical behavior or something like that. Nowadays, in this century, pretty much anything can be seen as radical behavior. And watch what you say, you'll be calling you radical, as the song says. Anyway, the Logical Song by Supertramp is a very good song to actually listen to in regard to this Church of Nowhere. Anyway, I don't agree with everything that the song says, but pretty much its sentiments are pretty sound, really. But anyway, being a church, we talk about towards. Okay, the word towards is very, very important. So you're working towards a vegan lifestyle, a vegan diet, a vegan way of life. You're working towards success in meditation, if that's the right word. Success, I don't know if it is really. I'm not sure what you call it, but attainment or something. You're working towards living a simple lifestyle. a simple ethical lifestyle that others might simply live. And the objective of a church basically is sisterhood and brotherhood, is to enable other people to work towards these goals, if you like, without judgment and without censure. I mean, it isn't a church of anywhere, so you can't get excommunicated. You shouldn't feel under pressure to become a vegan or live a simple lifestyle, a green lifestyle. You shouldn't feel under pressure from anybody to meditate if you don't want to. And just do the minimum required, basically. And I talk about adherence. Well, I suppose adherents to a particular church do various things and live various ways of life and adhere to certain lifestyles, which are based on the church's teachings. So also, you wouldn't have children as well, bearing in mind that the Church of Nowhere is also anti-natalist. But I mean, again, and if you get pregnant, it's a great honour to become pregnant, and pretty certain people should have a choice over abortion, but basically you shouldn't have an abortion if you can possibly help it. Which basically, nobody's actually ever said that you should have an abortion, only that you should have the choice to have one. So that's a bit of difference. But basically, church members would probably say, "Oh, I don't think I can do that at all," so they wouldn't do it. And that's sort of on your own conscience, really. So anyway, I think that. Again, brothers and sisters, the Church of Nowhere. I'm thy brother's keeper. I mean, basically, you should enable other people to live a vegan lifestyle, minimal living lifestyle. You should enable people to meditate. You should encourage them, and say, have you tried this? And have you tried this vegan brand? And have you tried couscous or something like that? It's really nice and might suit you, or it might not suit you. Just try it and see. Have you tried, going by bicycle to work instead of by car? So the church would be encouraging, positive, rather than being puritanical, rather than being based on censure. So more likely. But the thing about it is also the church has no metaphysics. So it's not like you're going to get, you're going to get rewarded by going to heaven if you're a vegan. There's no vegan heaven. Do you know what I mean? And similarly, there's not going to be any sort of nasty consequence of you not being vegan, for a day or two or a week or two or something like that. There's no God going to come along and spank you because you weren't vegan, or you ate fish on a day or particular, or had sort of animal fat in your chips or something which you didn't know about or whatever. So nobody should there's no God to judge you or to give you mercy, or to there's no above us only sky. Does not matter, need not be, and there's no hell below us. So basically, you can chill out and not feel under any sort of pressure. But it's good to put yourself, perhaps, sort of set yourself goals in life, vegan goals, minimal living goals, green goals, and try to meet those goals as to the best of your ability, and to lead, therefore, by example, which is the best way to lead people, really, is by example, rather than, don't tell, show, basically. Do you know what I mean? But, as I said, being a church, there is an evangelical side to the church. You do want people to join the church, if join can be the right word, because there's nothing actually to join exactly. And it's not exactly that you're taking the pledge to become a vegan or whatever, or to not have kids. You're not pledging yourself to do that. You're just setting yourself the goal of adhering to the church's recommended lifestyle. And certainly within all this, of course, meditation is very important, because meditation brings you into alignment with the things that really matter, which are internal to you, rather than external, because it could be really that, it's going to take hundreds of years for the world to become vegan, if it ever does fully. And it'll depend on cultures and depend on political and economic circumstances. Will the world go green? Well, it is going green gradually, but the world is word is gradually, and it might not. It might be too late, too little, too late. So therefore, probably the only thing you can actually do is meditate and not get angry about everything, because it could be that not enough has been done, and global warming is inevitable, and with all the disastrous effects of global warming on food production in particular. So things could get rough. So sit down and meditate in the midst of all this, and all this utopianism and all these grand ideas and lifestyle choices. You've got to also meditate and chill out and let go even of the things that the church holds dear, such as veganism, antinatalism, and minimal living. So that's my few thoughts basically on the fact that the church is nowhere, but it is definitely a church, the church of nowhere. Thank you very much for listening. Have a great day.